Honey, help! Okay, lady, you better do as I say or your husband gets it.
Anything.
Good. I need you to pick something on Netflix.
What?
Do it!
Okay,
Honey, this guy isn't messing around. Would you just pick something?
I'm trying. What am I in the mood for, though? Oh, I heard this was good, but I don't want something too heavy.
Clock is ticking.
I want something dumb, but not dumb. Oh, new releases.
This guy is serious. Pick something, please.
What are these movies even?
Streaming services. Even though there is a plethora of options to choose from, why does it seem like it hasn't helped find what we want to watch? The simple answer is really that there are two problems: the burden of choice and, paradoxically, the lack of availability for the right title. Let me explain. Humans can suffer what's known as the burden of choice. Given too many options, it's initially believed that this could ease our decision-making process, but instead, it actually increases the stress and anxiety we might feel. The core idea is that there's just too many options to choose from, and we really don't know which choice would be the best one. In doing so, we're often left not choosing anything at all. We can see this when we turn on any streaming service that presents to us an array of titles, all fighting for our attention, as you can almost hear each one of them saying, "Pick me, no, pick me, no, pick me," except we don't. What happens is that as we browse each title, we compare each of them constantly. We look upon one and think of the enjoyment we might get from that title compared to another one, and so forth, each time fighting to find what would be the most optimal. Instead of settling for something good and most likely still enjoyable, we feel this strain of trying to reach for a title that will be perfect for giving us that optimal human experience. Except, again, we don't. Instead, this freedom of choice leads to us feeling powerless and frustrated. The issue is further hampered by the fact that although there are seemingly unlimited number of titles, there's really only a limited amount that we'd actually prefer to watch, and usually it's already something we've seen before. Rather than take a risk on something new and original, which is a gamble on whether it would be enjoyable, we prefer to select a title that might be old, but that's also true and tried before, something familiar, and which we know based on the past will continue to still be enjoyable. This leads into the psychology of something called risk aversion. Instead of gambling to acquire a new gain, we'd much rather hedge our bets and lower the odds with something safe, even though there's an argument to be made that repetitive watches of the same titles ultimately can produce the same end result. Yet who's to say what a waste of time can really be defined as? But within all of this comes the final barrier to our decision-making process: the lack of availability. Too many titles have led to too many streaming services, which not only increases the cost of affordability, but it also presents a strange issue when a title cannot be found anywhere. For the movie or show that simply isn't picked up by any streaming service, it instead falls within the cracks of the system, gone and never to be found in the dark reaches of the abyss, forever stuck in limbo. Not every title can be found on streaming, and again, this comes down to two issues: cost and, finally, choice. Streaming executives are required to pay royalties for any title it chooses to select in its collection, and some have long-reaching existing contracts to have exclusivity on some titles as part of their lineup. But at the same time, who's to say what they choose and who chooses what title is completely out of the viewer's control. A streaming service might want to have What We Do in the Shadows, the movie, but maybe not the television show. Without video rental stores, viewers have only one option left to turn to, and it involves reaching into the dark abyss to resurrect the forgotten titles from the dead, with only one method they know how: piracy. But given the alternative, what else is there to do? If the title cannot be found in any store, viewers have only one option left to turn to. In a weird way, piracy, although taking away from the profit of filmmakers, is able to do something that all other streaming services cannot: provide that one-stop shop for everything. In many ways, piracy is the ultimate collection. Were it not for its existence, many beloved titles would never be watched nor discovered, and perhaps never continuing to inspire future filmmakers with their art. Strangely, maybe piracy is the only thing keeping the film and television industry alive in its own unique way. So, does the ends justify the means? Maybe not. And I suppose the only thing worse than not making money is maybe not existing at all. But you wouldn't steal a car, right?
You wouldn't steal a handbag. You wouldn't steal a car. You wouldn't steal a baby. You wouldn't shoot a policeman. and then steal his helmet. You wouldn't go to the toilet in his helmet. And then send it to the policeman's grieving widow. And then steal it again. Downloading films is stealing. If you do it, you will face the consequences.
Man, these anti-piracy ads are getting really mean.
Hey, come look at the site.
Oh, cool. Can you download the Foo Fighters?
Yeah. Hold on. What did I do?
You know it's illegal. Download copyrighted music. I'm taking you in.
Pay for music, never legally download.